If you watch my videos on a regular basis, you know sometimes I go off on rants. And I know some of you don't like those rants. So if you're one of those people, there's the stop button. Okay, if you're still here, you're ready to hear what I have to say. I have a problem sometimes with the lack of adherence to code of ethics and problems with the code of ethics itself for real estate agents. The code of ethics says if you are an agent, you must be honest to all parties in the transaction. That includes the seller and the seller's agent if you're the buyer's agent. So agents, I know you have a fiduciary responsibility to your buyers, but if you write an offer on a short sale and it says in there that you have to put in money 90 days non-refundable as earnest money to allow the negotiation process to happen, you can't back out or have your client want to back out and then lie to the other agent and tell them your client is still in the deal. So when the buyer decides 3 weeks later that they want out of this deal, either let them get out of the deal or tell them no, they're stuck in the deal. If they decide to stay in just to keep the earnest money, or you tell them to stay in just to keep the earnest money, you are not being honest to all parties in the transaction. In this situation, that's exactly what happened. We had a buyer try to get out a couple weeks later because we found out they had seen the property for the first time a few weeks later. They didn't like it after they saw it. They wanted out, they wanted their earnest money back. Then when we said, no, we have a contract, all of a sudden they decided that, okay, they were fine staying in the deal. What was really happening is that a buyer's agent was just looking for the next opportunity to back out and protect the earnest money. You can't do that. You have a fiduciary responsibility to your buyer, but you have a responsibility to be honest to the seller and the seller's agent. Now I have a seller who's facing foreclosure in 2.5 weeks. We have to get another offer and try to prevent this foreclosure, which is very unlikely to happen. And it is purely on the shoulders of the buyer's agent that this thing is going to foreclosure, and he should be held accountable. The problem is, I can't call him out by name or I would get in trouble. As a matter of fact, we asked the buyer's agent, are your buyers really still in this? We have a month to go to foreclosure, and we need to know so that we can decide if we need to just dump this and get another offer working, or if we're going to keep working on this offer. His answer? Sign an addendum releasing the earnest money and we'll answer the question. Doesn't that tell you right there that he's known for the whole time that his buyers wanted out? And then of all things, his broker backs up what he's doing. Brokers should also be held accountable. There needs to be some way that we can call each other out in these situations to help improve our industry. So agents, be honest with all parties involved. Yes, you have a fiduciary responsibility to your buyers, but you need to be honest to the listing agent too. You need to tell us exactly what's going on if your buyer doesn't intend to follow through. And buyers, if you're not 100% sure you want to move forward with the transaction, don't write an offer. Because if it gets accepted, you have a contractual obligation to follow through with that transaction. That's it. That's the end of my rant today, and we'll see you tomorrow.